Hi folks, I thought I'd do some tutorials on painting trees, greens and that sort of thing. So I'll wet the paper all over. This is Fabriano, cheap Fabriano, £130 studio paper. I like this paper, it's very good for wetting wet. You can get it from Curtis Ward or Granthams. Arts discount. Comes in blocks of 50. I buy 100 sheets of it at a time. And you get a good discount on that. It's a really good paper for this. Just let that soak in for a little bit. I'm going to use various brushes for these. I'm going to do the large hake. So let's just shape it. And put that to one side. We're going to use a number 12 Kolinsky Sable. This I got very cheaply for about £12. That's the yearly art show called Action in Art near Oxford, but they've stopped doing it, sadly. It's a lovely farm area, but it's got a manor house, or sort of a very large country house, that was owned by Rowan Atkinson, of him of Blackadder fame and others. But they were selling off a lot of stuff on the last day because they have a big marquee with all art materials. And I bought a couple of these number 8s. I think it's number 8, it doesn't say on it. And this number 12. I don't suppose I paid more than £20 for the 3 of them. Kolinsky Sable, can you believe it? Anyway, I don't use it very often, but for the sake of demonstration, we'll try the different brushes. And I'm going to do some winter trees and summer trees. I'm also going to use this lovely script brush. I love this brush. Must look out for another one. And possibly the rigger. Just reclip. Keeps the paper nice and flat. Okay, so we'll start off with the hake. We do basic winter trees. So a bit of ultramarine, a bit of burnt umber, nicely mixed. Not too weak. And they're lovely trees to do in the distance. So we'll start up here. Just get in the basic shape. This is just to show the canopy of the trunks and all the branches. I'll do some calligraphy in that in a minute, and then we'll come across with. Let's do one with the sable. Make this a bit heavier. Don't get everything all the same shapes. Vary. So you can equally use the sable. And we'll try the script brush. Same colours, just a bit of burnt umber and a lump of ultramarine. Give a wintry colour. It took me a while to learn to do these. I didn't learn it in 5 minutes. And I worked mainly from Roland Hilda. We can try the medium romance and hake if I can find it. I do have 2 of them. It's in there somewhere. There it is. So that's the medium. That's the large romance and hake, and that's the smaller one. They do vary in quality, but the one I've got now, the large one, is a lovely brush. It really is working well. It's not splitting. Well, we'll try this one. So too much water, isn't it? So paper's drying a little bit now. Okay, right, we'll go back. Well, we'll do some green ones now. So back to the sable. You need your cloth to take off excess water. So we use a bit of cad yellow and a bit of ultramarine. So we're killing two birds with one stone. I will put a light side on that first. I will get a nice shape to our trees. Don't have your foliage coming right the way down to the floor. We can darken that with a bit more blue and put in some shadow on one side, which is underneath. And more blue, and a bit of blue and red. I'll go back to these when they're drying off a bit. Put that in. I'll put a bit of some twigs and branches and trunks and things. I'll do the same one here, and a little bit more in there. So they all make different shapes. And we'll have a water tree. So we want yellow and burnt sienna, but you want a green because you get a lot of green on the autumn trees. Got to remember which side the light comes from. Let's do several of those with this brush. Then we can put in some sienna. Got the shadow, so I've got a bit of blue in there. Just delineate between two here. Oh. We can put some of that colour down the bottom here, show leaves. Or you can use a bit of Payne's grey with so I've tried to show a bit of dark on the shadow side of the tree. Right, we'll leave that for a minute. We'll just let it soak in. Now, I like to use my hake to do, well, if I'm using the hake, I like to use the hake for my tree. Slightly greeny, so just still a bit wet. Can put a bit of dry brush over some of this. And remember some of these branches come down. So now that is drying off a little bit, the Hague. Take some water off of it and just a bit a little darker than the original mix. Just try and brush in some colours, just some clumps of leaves. You can even put ivy going up there. Okay, so that's one quick demo on that one. And what did we use for the other one? We had this brush, didn't we? So let's keep that a bit greeny. I like slightly greeny. This doesn't come to a great point. So it might be better with the wiggle in that one. So a little bit of the leaves, not the leaves, just a few bits and pieces in there, and then with that sable again, go in with your burnt umber and or whatever. Well, not heavy enough, too much water on the brush. Okay, not such a good one, but now I used the Hague for that one, didn't I? So this is the one I used in there. This you can get away with. Remember that you need quite a bit of I can't remember what I was going to say there. So go just a bit darker. Yeah, you just need your trunks to be thick enough to hold up that weight of this tree. Okay, you don't need to do too much in this really. Now we've got the small Hague, or we can use the large Hague to detail the twigs in that one. I'll shortcut with a bit of Payne's grey. Oops. I have got a lovely sable that I bought. This one. It's quite a long flat, but it doesn't come into a nice point. It's good texturing, little brush, but that was expensive. That cost more than I paid for the number 12 Kolinsky sable. Okay, so let's get our knife edge. Just using a bit of Payne's grey now with this. And a bit of use the rigger. Oh, you could do all sorts of. You can really get lost in the canopies of some of these trees. Could even put another one in the background. Okay, let's put a bit of texture in these greeny ones here. See how versatile these fakes can be. But if you've got delicate touch, you can do all sorts of lovely bits with that. The same with that one. Another one there. Have a forest on them. Okay, that sort of stuff, you can be just inventive as much as you like with them. And trees I like, I'm going to do it with my script brush. I have to dry this one, so I'm going to just like the ones that those trees in the distance. Whole series of them behind buildings. I have to do a bit of a landscape, or a bit of Okay, now what I meant was I'm going to just dry that off. So, do the big. And with the rigger, I'll be just using a number 3 rigger, but slightly the blue, but slightly darker than the foliage, but a bit of burnt umber. And then you just got these trees sort of coming up into painting them blue to show that they're distant. I've just uploaded well, you might have seen it before you've watched this, but someone asked me to, my friend asked me to do a winter scene in the middle of summer. Well, we've had a very hot spell in London, the UK, and much of Europe, of course. Right, you know what I mean? That would have been better if a bit less water on my brush. Maybe I'll do a smaller one down here. Would you do that roof? I like those roofs. It's just a bit of dark. And we'll have a bit lighter here. Okay, I'll dry that just as a backdrop. No, not as a backdrop, but as a support. Normally I was, so get the blue again, but not too much water on the brush. Bit of burnt umber. Or you can do Payne's grey, so now we can leave it a bit more open. And we can have a bit of a stronger tree there. No, they're not now. Right, okay, so forget that bit. Just go in with the I think these are my favourite trees to do, but I'm rushing them here. You can dot ivy on them, climbing up. Yeah. Oh, so we have a bit of darker blue, a bit of ivy. That will all dry into lighter, so it won't be quite as dark. But I'm just doing this very rough, just to give you an idea. Let's put someone on here. Just the old rigor. You just have fun with it, really. But you can see very quickly I've got eight lots of trees. I've shown the greens. Let's have a look, just a quick look. Use some of this space for some greens. So basic green would be a yellow with a touch of blue. All right, and darker one would be darker yellow, green. It's just ultramarine and cadmium yellow. We go darker with that. We can use. Let's try using Payne's grey. A different green. I like using black with my oil paintings and acrylic. So this is quite a dark green now. Just the Payne's grey, or you can make a very light blue, bluey green, distant. Another lovely green is ultramarine, bit of burnt sienna. My burnt sienna is a bit sloppy at the moment. Touch of cadmium yellow. So that's ultramarine. You can change it as you like. Autumny colours in there. So you start off with your basic yellow, and then into that you can add your blue, so that's going green now. We've mixed it. So experiments on scraps of paper. I think greens are not as hard to make from the primaries as you might think. But I would always prefer in watercolour to use the primaries. I wouldn't buy Viridian, for example. It's a very strong colour. It mixes very well with the raw sienna and yellow ochre. But you can get with three colours: blue, yellow, and red. Depends what red you use. I haven't got cadmium red, would be a nice red, but I've just got the alizarin, which I don't use very often, and the light red, which I do use a lot. But the light red, well, I like the burnt sienna personally, but I've got both on the palette and I use both. I use quite a lot of this cadmium yellow and raw sienna, ultramarine, and the Payne's grey. But Payne's grey can muddy your paintings if you're not too careful. Don't use it as a crutch. Use it as a support colour. So there we are. So nice greens. Okay, well that's fine. Right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Goodbye.